What's up, my peeps? The MMA casual here after UFC Mexico. I want to give you my reaction as well as just break down some of the fights. If you didn't watch them, I'd love to give you some insight and just kind of go through everything, my bets. And if you're new here, I'm the MMA casual. I predict, I bet, and I pick UFC fighters and these fights. And you watch along and you call me a bozo or you call me a genius. There's several sides to this, but ultimately, I just love doing this and I appreciate all your support. If you like UFC talk, if you like MMA talk, be sure to subscribe. Let's get right to it. UFC Mexico, guys, at Elevation. We spoke about it. Ultimately, I went 8 for 12, and I went 3 for 9 in bets, and that doesn't sound like a favorable number. However, when we talk monetarily, we ended up with $17 more for my unit. That's 0.3 units as a profit. It's not hot. You only got it if you bet on all my bets. And if you picked some, hopefully you got the right ones. If you picked others and got all the wrong ones, I'm sorry. But we've been on a hell of a run, a historic run. In the last 4 weeks, I've ended up with over 50 units. And for the year, we're over 62 units at this point. And I'll get you the specifics. I think it might be a little more, but I haven't added it all up other than my head. But we were over 62 units last week. I only got point 0.3, so I left it at 62. We're having a hell of a year. And I appreciate all the support. If you want all my bets, guys, I go through Instagram, $4.99 a month, literally nothing. A cup of coffee at Starbucks, you're going to have to sacrifice for it. And like I said, we're doing pretty good. If you're in $1,000 better, I know that's a stretch. You're up $60,000 with my bets this year. I don't want to hear any complaints. Usually people come on, they got on last week, they start complaining, they leave angry comments. I'm used to it. If I'm doing good, I'm loved. If I'm doing bad, I'm the worst guy in the world. Long story short, I love doing this. I appreciate all the support. Let's get right to it, guys. Austin Hubbard, Markel Maderos. Personally, I was on the fence in this fight. I said, do not bet. If you go back into my video, I thought Austin Hubbard needed to be pushing the pace. He couldn't stay back. I said he shouldn't be flash frozen by Maderos' striking. He didn't do that. He did a great job. And ultimately, in the third round, Austin Hubbard, I think he lost because of two moments where he needed to finish a takedown of chain wrestling and he didn't. Maderos ended up on top. He had like a really good elbow that caused Austin Hubbard to bleed. If you ask me, Austin Hubbard won this fight. Markel Maderos got the split decision. I was happy for it because that was my pick, but there was no money involved. Jamal Amers, Gabriel Miranda. Guys, I picked Gabriel Miranda to win, and that was like me being balls to the walls because smart me, normal MMA casual, would have had a prop bet on Gabriel Miranda for submission, but he picks Jamal Emers to win because I said Jamal Emers should win this fight, but I didn't. I went full on. Miranda wins. He gets the sub. Miranda had a sub locked in 1 minute into the fight, and it looked so good for like a split second, right? It was some weird, unorthodox arm triangle that Emers was trying to get out of. There was too much of a squeeze. Gabriel Miranda was just exhausting himself. When they stood up in the first round, Jamal Emers was just catching every punch he threw. It was catching Gabriel Miranda's chin every time until like Gabriel Miranda, like this guy got hit with a cinder block to the face. KO round one. And the MMA casual started looking stupid. I won't lie. I was disappointed. But here's the real issue. This fight right here. I don't think I lost credibility, but I got a little upset with this fight because not only did I go huge freaking underdog on the fight before this, but I went back to back. I said, you know what? Vince the Hell Pichel will come in after that fight, and he's also going to get a win. He'll fucking get it done in decision. That's what I told you. I said, I'm sticking with him. I think he'll be more durable. Rafa Garcia doesn't have any fucking energy. He has no stamina. He can't hang. I don't know why I said any energy. He doesn't have stamina, no endurance. He walked in there, and that's exactly what happened. He took the first round. Second round, Vince Pichel outstruck him like double. It was literally double the output. Round three, Rafa Garcia just took some control grappling on the cage. And Vince Pichel had some moments, but we're in Mexico. I think Rafa gets the nod. I said split. I think split. I think there's one corrupt judge. It'll go split Rafa Garcia. Motherfuckers, unanimous decision, 29-28, and then 230-27s. And I was like, you son of a bitch. I knew I lost right then and there, but Rafa Garcia took 230-27s. Guys, in the perfect judging, I'll take 329-28s. I'll respect that. Any 30-27 in this fight is straight up corruption. And that's when I realized we were in Mexico and I said, oh, my picks are shit. So we move on. Lupe Godinez, Julia Palastri. I said I'm worried about this fight because Julia Palastri is pretty freaking good. And Lupe Godinez has this thing about not being able to really finish her fights or really deliver when needed. Let me tell you something. Give me round 1, 2 Lupe Godinez against anybody, and she's debatably a champion in her division. She looks so fucking good. I'm talking ideal striking, great grappling, a slam that almost knocked down Julia Palastri. But going to round 3, and Julia Palastri got a second wind, and she was making Lupe Godinez work. And it was clear 29-28 because Julia won round 3. But if that's a 5-round fight, Julia Palastri wins. Even though I went Lupe Godinez, no money bet, and she won that fight. Next up, C Rod and Melt Costa. Guys, that's a tough fucking fight to call. And to be honest with you, I had it round 1, C Rod, round 2, Costa, because he fucked Costa. Um, he knocked him down and he had him finished, bro. I thought Mel Costa was gonna finish that. And I had Costa half a unit and a full unit on this fight doesn't go the distance as well as the next one, which this is the one that lost. This ultimately went the distance. Guys, personally, I had Christian Rodriguez winning the fight when it was all said and done. I think he had bigger moments in the third round. He finished the fight on top. We took the split decision, and I'm not getting upset because that was a half a unit win, and I really needed that. Next up, I was a little unsure about Jose Daniel Medina against Atiba. Atiba coming in, the up and comer, starting in the UFC, the power, this, that, the other. But Jose Medina against Zachary Reese was an absolute issue. And that guy was coming back from anything. And he's fighting in Mexico, even though he's, I believe, Bolivian. But, the Hispanics all stick together. Guys, Atiba went in there, and commentary said it best: calm, cool, collected, measured, landing the right shots. The jab was effective. Jose Medina couldn't move forward. I mean, that guy was getting stunned by everything, and ultimately, Atiba lands a shot that makes Jose Medina back up into the cage. He breaks him down. He ultimately drops him. Jose's still good, but the ref says I've seen enough, and it's a first round knockout. It was free money, but I was scared of Medina's chin, but it was good. Next up, Edgar Chairez versus CJ Vergara. Guys, this fight was way later because, and I know I'm taking like deep breaths to speak, but it's because like I just ate and I'm stuffed. So I'm like, it's not because I'm like extremely out of shape or anything. I just want to be clear. Anyway, Edgar Chairez, he fought way later because Pfeiffer and Gastelum was ultimately canceled. CJ Vergara, I was a little worried about him. He's durable. I still want Edgar Chairez. I thought it was going to go the distance, but it was a club and sub. Guys, Edgar Chairez just fucking dropped CJ Vergara, found the back. He fucking rear naked choked him. It was great. I love that. I had Edgar Chairez with Lazy Boy in a fucking parlay. Obviously, that didn't go through, but Chairez delivered. Here we are, the guy who ruined my night. I would have won. I had Chairez and Ronaldo in one, and then I had this fight not to go the distance. That would have fucking at least put me up 2 units. But I have to say, Lazy Boy Ronaldo Rodriguez is a fucking clown. Number one, and I should have known this in tape study. He doesn't fucking put his left hand up. It's just he does not want to protect his chin. He does not want to protect the left side of his face. It's striker's delight. And Kevin Borjas with that nasty fucking power in his division was having a field day. The only thing I'll say is that Mexican chin of Ronaldo Rodriguez ruined everybody's fucking payslips. Whoever had Kevin Borjas by knockout should just stop gambling because it was there the whole night, all 3 rounds. And Ronaldo Rodriguez kept coming back. He got dropped once in the fight. Every other time, it sounded like a sledgehammer going up against steel, and he would just keep moving forward. What bothers me about this fight is that Ronaldo Rodriguez has tools that Kevin Borjas doesn't, right? He could have done a better job with his leg kick. Yes, at the end of the fight, he was throwing it a lot. He could have started grappling with Kevin Borjas. Yes, he attempted twice and failed. However, what he was doing was anything that had a spin to it, anything that would get the crowd going, anything that he had to jump for, that's what he was throwing. He thought he was in the middle of a Dragon Ball Z game. It wasn't working out. Kevin Borjas was just finding it straight. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, Lazy Boy landed a few leg kicks. Yes, Lazy Boy had his moments, but Kevin Borjas looked absolutely fantastic. He was the better striker. And all we saw was that Lazy Boy has no IQ. You're hearing it here first. It's official. I will never bet on Lazy Boy again. I will not bet on his fight. I will not bet on him. That is the type of performance that pisses everybody off. He was like, "Oh, I put on a show with my Mexican people." That was the dumbest shit he could have done. Everybody would have respected him going to the ground and maybe submitting this guy, putting ground and pound, maybe fucking going to a split decision. No, he got knocked out in the first round. Instead of coming back and having a good game plan, he decided to act like a fool. This is what we got. This guy fucking ruined everything. I know I sound bitter, but it's for a good reason. It's just bullshit, minor league shit. That guy's a clown. Whew. David Martinez, Saman Oliveira, guys, exactly what we expected. Actually, I was a little impressed with Saman Oliveira. I thought some of his defense in the first round was very technical. He had a few spinning back fists and a few good kicks that I was like, oh shit, if that lands, he's gonna do some damage. Ultimately, exactly what we said. I bet David Martinez by knockout. Luckily, we locked that in for a unit plus 120, I believe. But guys, just fucking nasty, nasty leg kicks, nasty punches. Ultimately, was able to clinch at the end when he was wobbled. Throws a knee up the middle. Seaman Oliveira. See you later, buddy. Raul Rosas Jr., Vince Morales. Credit for Vince Morales, guys. I said he was going to get cut after this fight. Is it possible? Yes. But he almost put Raul Rosas Jr. to sleep. And 9 out of 10 fighters go to sleep with that submission. Vince Morales almost had the necktie, whatever the fuck they were talking about. I'm not a BJJ guy. He had it twice where Raul Rosas Jr. was in trouble, and I have no idea why I just got balloons. This is not a live stream, is it? That was fucking weird. That was awesome. So he almost got caught twice. I thought he was gonna go to sleep. He didn't. He got through it. He got the unanimous decision. I thought it was the right call. It was a close fight. I could have even seen a split there. Props to Vince Morales. He's not getting cut. But Raul Rosas Jr. even alluded to apologizing to Dana White because he knows as a superstar in the UFC, you can't be giving that performance. You got to be finishing people. You got to make it more competitive. It was a boring fight. He was in Mexico City. Eesh, not good. Nope. Canceled. So Joe Piper went online. He got sick, ate at a Mexican restaurant. Dude, even after camp, why the fuck are you going to eat tacos, burritos, enchiladas in Mexico City? Like, no, you should probably have your dietitian get you ready the right way with whatever nutrients you need. I don't blame anybody but himself. You've heard of Montezuma's Revenge. Like, what the fuck are you doing eating out at a random restaurant in Mexico City when you're going to fight? Love Joe Piper. Think you would have won this fight, but nobody to blame but yourself. It's facts. Manuel Torres, Drew Dober. Guys, now we could officially say Drew Dober is not our chin anymore. There are better chins in the UFC. Drew Dober was the guy. However, Manuel Torres was able to stop Drew Dober from moving forward. And what a shitty stoppage. And personally, it's a tough angle. It's a tough decision. Drew Dober went for an ankle, but his face was caught up against the ankle. It was a single leg. And Manuel Torres was just hammer fisting him. Boom, 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 boom. But he got 15 shots in. Drew Dober wasn't moving. And it's one of those things where your body just freezes up and he's like taking him, taking him, taking him. And I'm sure he's trying internally to like move and do something, but he's just shut off until ultimately, I think it was Mike Beltran stopped the fight. And it's like, what the hell? And he shoots up. And I think he was there, which is crazy. I still think his chin is good, but he was out, man. There was nothing going forward. He wasn't completely out, but it was like enough to freaking, you were about to handicap the guy. It was the right call. Manuel Torres is the real deal. I'm mad at myself for not betting him. That was one of the ones I got wrong, as well as Borjas and my two underdogs. Last but not least, guys, to wrap this up, Brandon Moreno. Guys, this fight was exactly what I thought it was going to be, but there are some minor changes. I said after Amir Abbasi, Brandon Moreno looked great. If he came back looking like that, he was going to kill anybody in front of him. He did. The biggest problems here, Steve Erceg, the commentary had it fucking perfect. And I know that doesn't mean much, me giving them credit, right? Like they're the professionals, but it's the absolute truth. He wasn't sitting on anything. He wasn't packing power in anything. I think he was so fearful of the result of Kai Kara France, of that happening again with Brandon Moreno, that he was just not letting loose the way he could have. After round two, I was concerned because I said, damn, Brandon slowed down. Round one, clear Brandon. Number two, Steve Erceg, in my opinion. After that, Brandon took it. Three was kind of close, but 4 and 5 were all Brandon. Brandon Moreno was loading up on everything, and a good calculated striker who would sit up or sit down on the right punches would have put Brandon Moreno out, in my opinion. Easy to say from this filled belly, fucking making a YouTube video, but Brandon Moreno looked good. The stance switches, the pressure, moving forward. He's so fidgety. Everything was really good. And I think going into round five, he's up 3-1. You're lucky if it's 2-2. I think you need to tell Steve Erceg, sit on your punches. The corner gives some good advice, which I was like, oh shit, something might happen. We were able to hear them say, hey, he's listening to us. When I say go low, go high, when I say, go high, go low, as far as the striking, I was like, oh shit, this might fuck with Brandon Moreno if he's really listening and reacting to whatever the coaches are saying. It didn't work out. Brandon Moreno was just able to close the distance, push forward. It was a Mexican crowd. I mean, Steve Erceg would have had to win 4 rounds to 1 to take this fight, not even a 3-2, because it probably would have been a robbery. But he just didn't do enough, man. And I like Steve Erceg a lot. I like his striking, very technical, but he was just a step behind Brandon Moreno. I think we got the same Brandon Moreno we saw with Amir Abazi. He's hungry, he's having fun, and he's just an uncomfortable dude to fight. Hats off to him, guys. Not the best betting night, but always a good night, guys, especially when I get to break things down with you. My picks went 8 for 12. I did get a little funny with my underdogs. I think I committed to my bets where usually I would tell you, hey, guys, I think these two guys are going to win, but I'm going to bet money just in case. I went the wrong way, and it happens. It is what it is. But I appreciate all of you guys. If you want my exclusive bets, go on my Instagram. If not, if you're here just listening and like this breakdown, what I have to say, if you find this video fun, please subscribe. I appreciate all of you. Have a good night.